So is this screen visible?
Not yet. Okay, yeah, it's visible now.
Okay. Good evening, sir. I'm Nivedita, and my project topic is stock trading application, and I have been given the task of software development life cycle for the stock trading application. The contents goes like this: introduction, agile method, working. Why do we need agile? The challenges under agile. What are all the advantages in agile and disadvantages in agile, and the conclusion, and then the reference. So if we go with the introduction, so the software development life cycle is the cost-effective and the time-effective process that development teams use to design and build their high-quality software. So if we see here, this is a basic software development life cycle. Every software development life cycle goes through this process only, but have their different criteria. So if we go like this, so the first step is the planning. So planning includes the collecting the requirements from the customer, and then the analyzing. So when we gathered the information from the or the requirements from the customer, we'll analyze all those customer so that we can start designing the project, and then we'll start the implementation of the project. The implementation is the coding part of the project, and then we'll start testing each particular modules and integrate different modules together. And then the maintenance is the last part, where we do any kind of updation to the software. It is after giving the software to the the customer, we do the maintenance work. Like if the customer wants us to add some more features to it, or they need some upgraded version, so this is what maintenance do. So if we take daily life examples, then we can say that when we build a house, so what is the basic steps, like how we do it, what is the life cycle. So everything has a life cycle. For example, birth till death is a life cycle. And similarly, if I give the real life example of building a building, then we can say that the first step is to doing the planning work. That means we will contact the engineer and we'll do the planning. That means the blueprint of the house. Then next, what we do, we will do the foundation work. Then after the foundation, we'll start building the walls. And after building the walls, we'll do all the other works, such as the electric works, the plumbing works, and then we add the tiles to the floor, and then the painting, and then we do the housewarming ceremony, and then we start living in the house. So this is what the life cycle is in the basic world. So even when we develop a software, that also need a life cycle from starting to ending, how it works. So it has to take place in these steps only. So the goal of software development life cycle is to minimize project risk through forward planning, so that software meets customer expectation during production and beyond. So the product must meet whatever the requirements were specified at the planning stage by the customer. The same thing should be met at when we give the project to the customer. So what are we choosing here? We are looking into the agile method here. So agile method is a combination of an incremental and iterative approach, and is focused on fitting well with the flexible requirement. Flexible requirement in sense that the customer can I give the in normally in what we see in waterfall model is that the requirements are given in the starting stage only during the planning stage, and other than that no requirements is given in between. But in agile method, the requirements can be given in betweens too, so that all the everyone can the developer can also update his the coding by taking these requirements too. So what happens in agile method is that we take step-by-step approach, that we divide everything in parts, and then first part will be developed first, and then it will be coded, then it will be released, then we'll get the feedback from the customer, and then we'll develop the second one. Until the first one is not like until the first one it does not meets the requirement, it will be tested again and again, and it will be taken the like feedback from the customer. So the project requirement and the solution in agile process project keeps evolving during the development process, making it one of the best SDLC method for business. So as already told, in agile method of software development, the project is divided into small subparts and is delivered in iterations. So every part is delivered separately. In waterfall model, what happens is the entire project is considered as one, but here in agile method, the different part is like tested differently, reviewed differently, and then all the parts are combined and integrated, and then that integrated part is also like tested and reviewed. But as a result, the final product has all the required features. So next, how does agile method works? So as we can see here in the diagram, first step is the planning. As I already told, planning is like taking the requirements from the customer, and based on that requirement, we'll just like we'll make a blueprint of that. Like what are the needs for this project, and then we'll start the designing. Designing includes the UI design, the front end designing, or we can just make a roadmap like how we can like develop this project. And then the development. The development include the coding part, the functional, the non-functional, everything is done in this process. After this, the code will be tested by the testers if it contains any bug, or to check if it contains any bug or not. And after that, it is deployed to the customer side. So customer, when the customer looks at this, and then he will check whether all the requirements, whatever he has specified, has met or not. And after that, he will give a review. So if the review passes, then it will be launched, or it will go to the next like what we say, the next part. Otherwise, it will again be tested. See, we can see here how it is rotating. So after review, if the customer is not satisfied, the planning will be done again, the design will be done again, the development will be done again, and everything. And here during the review process, the customer can add more requirements too. So this is how it works. Like already I told, the different parts are uh, tested here, not the entire final project, the different parts. Even the first phase, for example, in stock trading application, we need to add a stock. Like for that, we will just see whether that code is working properly or not. And after that, removing a stock, we are checking. For that also, we'll do this process completely, and at last we'll integrate everything and launch the project. So next is, why do we need Agile? So Agile is the best SDLC method and also one of the most used SDLC in tech industry as per as the annual state of Agile report. So Agile is extremely adaptive, which make it different from all the SDLC, because in other SDLC, what happens? It is normally predictive. So if we take the example of waterfall, the planning during the planning phase only, everything is already told to the developer that whatever the requirements he needs in his project. So we know exactly that what will happen to the project, what will be the end result. But in agile method, we cannot predict it, because what happens, the customer can keep on adding requirements in between too. So the project might change at the end. So the frequency of test in agile helps to minimize the risk of the major failure also. So what if we take an example here? So we all know what is downtime. So it happens when, like for example, if I take the Yono SBI Yono account, so it happens with more number of applications. But I'm taking an example of this. So what happens is that when we try to log in, then it will show some server error. So for a long time, will not be able to use. So that is because this few applications are developed under waterfall. So what happens in waterfall model, the entire module, entire project is considered as one. If you upgrade, if you want to update any function in that project, or we want to like add some new features to it, so what happens is we cannot do it without halting the entire project, because entire project is considered as one. So any feature we will add, it will halt the entire application. So but what happens in agile, we are distributing everything in parts. So if we are updating any particular part, in the application, then what happens is only that part will be halted, and all the other parts will not be halted. The other parts will be worked accordingly. So this is why we need agile. So challenges under agile is resistant to change. So resistant to change, that means it is easy to change in between. Like the customer can add any kind of requirements in between, so that the developer can again process everything and can give the result according to the new change. So lack of experience. If the team members do not know anything about agile, or they are new to this, so it is quite challenging for them. Incomplete requirements. Incomplete requirement, what happens is, for example, it is the communication problem. For example, I am the one who can speak English, and the other one who can speak Kannada. So I am the developer, and the other one is the customer. So he cannot reach out to me correctly because he don't know English. So he cannot reach out to me correctly, and I will not be able to understand it properly. Even it is one criteria, and another one is that uh, different people have different personalities. Some are very expressive, and some are not at all expressive. So what happens is that when someone is giving the requirements, saying their requirements to the developer, he might not be very expressive, or he might not be able to highlight all the detailed parts. So this is what incomplete requirement is. If the customer gives an incomplete requirement to a developer, it is a challenge for the developer to understand it properly and develop on the base of those requirements. So scaling issue is that we have to maintain the consistency between the teams, because different teams work here accordingly. So we have to make consistency between the teams. Dependency management. So if there is any external dependency for any kind of application here, for example, any external APIs we use, if we take an example that an Uber, Ola, and all those application, what we have to do, we need the third party API. That is, we need the Google Map support to the um, Uber and Ola. So what happens here is, if we need some external management, dependency management here, then it is also a challenge for agile method. So time zone and location challenge. As I already told that different team members work here together. So if we take a company, a big company, so what happens? They have their team in different location. For example, in out of country. So one is working in India and another one is working in US. So the time zone between both of them is different. Even the location is different. So we have to maintain the time zone so that it like we can maintain and coordinate with each other. So that is one of the challenge in agile method. And frequent changes. Frequent changes, simple that as it is resistant to change, so customer can add frequent changes in between the development. Client involvement. So client is the customer. So client is involved during the entire process of the development. So he will be in every step. Yeah, after every unit, he will be giving the reviews for every unit, so that so that it can be further moved. Like furthermore, or it has to do some other task with it or not. So continuous integration and development, different modules are integrated together continuously, because so if there is any changes, then we have to do it again and again. So continuous integration. After after, for example, one unit is tested, the another unit is tested, these two units should be combined together, and that combined unit should also be uh, uh, deployed to the customer, and the customer should give review upon that also. So this is all about challenges. Next, the advantages. Superior quality product. As the customer, like he do the test, give the review. The testing is done on a particular unit again and again, and the customer gives the review again and again. So what happens? It always will get a superior quality product, because how many times we'll test, how many times will change according to the trend. So we'll always get a good product only. So customer satisfaction, as I already told, that the customer will be during the entire process of the software development life cycle, he will be giving reviews and feedbacks to every part of the development. So customer will definitely be satisfied. But if we take the waterfall model, what happens there is the entire project is tested, like it will be given to the customer at the end, and during the end, what if he feels like something is missing, then we have to do entire process again. So at that situation, there must be like dissatisfaction. But in agile method, most of the time, the customer will be satisfied only because he is involved in the entire process. So better control. So the manager will have better control on everything, like the team leads, the development process, and everything, because the customer is giving the feedbacks again and again. So he has better control on everything. So it reduces risk. Reduces risk because already it all comes to the same point, that it reduces risk because it is tested again and again. If it is tested again and again, that then we know that all the bugs have been removed, so it will reduce the risk. So increase flexibility. It is open to make any number of changes in between. So continuous improvement. Any number, how many time we do the change, and how many time we do the testing, how many time the number of time we will get the review from the customer. That many time, it will improve the project accordingly. Because if customer is telling about some kind of new features to be added, then he will tell only according to the trend nowadays. So what is going on the trend, he will make sure that that feature is added. So the project will always be improved. So improve team morale. As different team work together, so the coordination between the team will be more. They will be like learning more things easily, and they know how to communicate with each other and all. So this is all about advantages. So what are the disadvantages in this? So the disadvantages is lack of predictability. So lack of predictability is that we cannot predict what exactly the project will be at, because there are so many multiple um, because there are so many multiple changes added in between. So project will result at the end. So documentation challenge. So am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay, sir. Documentation challenges are like different. We will be testing and developing different units separately. So for that, what will happen that we cannot we have to keep the track of every single unit separately. We have to keep the documentation of different units. So that will be a lot to do. So resource initiative, there should be continuous communication between the both ends, that is the developer and the the client. Both should have the continuous uh, communication with each other. If they do not have the resource for the communication, then what happens? For example, the network is not good or something like that. So if that is not there, then it will be quite difficult, or else both the developer and the customer stays in different location, and they cannot meet at the particular point of time, because it needs continuous feedback. So this is very important, that both should have a continuous they should have communication with each other, and the resource should be available for them. So this is a disadvantage. So dependency on customer availability. If the customer or the reviewer is not available, then it will be a disadvantage, because if we don't get any feedback, that particular unit will be at halt only. We cannot further process it. So scope grade. So scope grade is same as lack of predictability. That means the scope of the project, a customer told to a developer that we need this kind of project, and he is expecting this to happen at the end. But what happens at the end is that we do multiple changes in between, multiple testing, we can add more features to it. What happens at the end? The scope of the project will be deferred. It will be different from the one at the initial stage. Next is the continuous involvement. There should be continuous involvement of the team, the testers, the developer, the one who designed the software, and the customer. Everyone should be involved here continuously. No one should miss it. So risk of incomplete features. So risk of incomplete features is that, for example, they have many number of modules. For example, there are 100 different modules in a particular project. There might be chances of we have forgotten to test any 2 or 3 or any one. Let us take an example that any one unit we have not tested and we have forgot to test it, but we have deployed it, like we have included it at the end, and at the end we'll see that there is some problem with that particular unit, and that will be a risk. So this is the disadvantages of Agile. So the conclusion is that Agile methodology has gained popularity in the software development industry and beyond due to its interactive and flexible approach. So we can make any changes in between be added to the project. So unlikely it has many pros and cons in itself, disadvantages and advantages as already discussed. So in conclusion, it is essential to carefully consider the specific needs and characteristics of a project before deciding on any SDLC. So each project is unique in itself. So we have to like choose the methodology on the basis of the project goals, team dynamics, and external constraints. So this Agile will be best for the stock trading application. The references, these are the references where I got the contents for my presentation. So if there is any question, you can ask me. Or else you can mail me to the mail ID. Thank you. Sir, I'm done, sir.
Yeah, Nivedita. Nivedita, I think you put the conclusion slide before the references slide, right? I don't think. Okay, Nivedita left. There were no problem with the presentations. Guys, we have around half an hour left. So if the both of you just let me know in the chat box if you can get done in that much time. Any one of you. I'll have to go with Prathibimba first.
Yes, sir.
Prathibimba?
I'll complete that within the time.
Okay, no problem, no problem. We'll start with you. You can share your screen. Nivedita, there were no problem with your presentations. Everything was done very well. Okay.
So sorry, sir, I got disconnected in.
Yeah, it's completely fine. It's completely fine.
Okay,
You can mute yourself. Yeah. Okay.
okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, Prathibimba, you can start. Just turn on your camera too.
Good evening, sir. I'm Prathibimba and I'm intern at Akveda at the department UI department. And today I'm here for my presentation on the topic the role of UI design in stock market trading application. As the stock market shifted to online, UI design has become more important than ever. This presentation is here to explore the UI design stock market trading application and the best practices that we need to make a UI design very successful and appealing, and what are the challenges that we face during this process for creating a UI design. And here we have. Excuse me, sir. And here we have some main roles. There are two main roles of UI design in stock market trading application. They are enhancing usability and user experience and providing the real-time data and information. In enhancing the usability and user experience, we have initiative navigation. Initiative navigation is one of the most important thing, because here UI design ensures that the app is easy to make and traders can easy to use, and traders can focus on interpreting the data and making the decision. And next we have the clear display of data, where the UI must be able to display the real-time data, the graph, the charts, and it should be very easy to the traders to know what is happening and what is the chart of their stock and etc. And next we have customizable dashboards. The customizable dashboards are very important over here, because here user can make their own dashboards which are more efficiency and satisfaction to the users. And next we have seamless integration. In seamless integration, we have the user expect to the app to use the third party tools so that they can take the data from the different sources to get the research about the trades and stocks. And next we have providing the real time data and information to the traders. Here we have data aggregation. In data aggregation we can see that the trader need to evaluate the information from the variety of the sources so that they can get a market feeds, company financial statements, and etc. And next we have the real-time data visualization, where we can get various types of charts, graphs for the traders. And next we have newsfeed integrations. Newsfeed integration are important because we can get the stock.
Prathibimba, I think your camera isn't working.
Sorry for the. Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Am I visible now, sir?
Yeah, you're visible.
Sorry for this. And yeah, in news feeds we can see that then in news feeds the traders can take the news about the stocks and the financial statements. And next we have the best practices of UI design. There are some best practices like simplicity and clarity in visual design, intuitive navigation and functionalities, integration of data, visualization and analytical tools, multi-device functionality. Here, when we come to simplicity and clarity in visual design, the visual design should be user appealing, and when user sees it, it should be very easy to use. That the user should not be feel difficult or should not be get frustrated while using that app. And next we have initiative navigation and functionality. The navigation and functionality of the UI should be very easy so that user can use it very easily. And next we have integration of data visualization and analytics. And here we have to give the proper data about the stocks and their financial statements about the stocks so that the user can easily know about the stocks and they can buy or sell the stocks in the market as they require. And next we have multi-device functionality. In multi-device functionality, the UI should be specifically should be used for all the devices like mobile phones, tabs, laptops, and etc. It should be very functional. Its functionality should be very easy while using. And next we have some challenges. It is not easy to make a user appealing UI design so easily. We have many challenges during the design process. Some challenges are here like handling the complex data information. The stock market trading application is a very huge application where we have to maintain a very strong data, and managing all those data and handling the complexity through the data is very bigger challenges. And next we have balancing the customization simplicity. While the user is customizing their dashboard, the simplicity should be clear and it should be very easy to customize and it should be very appropriate and clear. And next we have managing the security concern. As it is the stock market trading application, here the users financial statements are, or the traders financial statements or the stocks financial statements are being visualized, and it should be very secured and safeguarded because these are the most useful information or very precious information of the users or the traders. And next we have ensuring the compatibility and the multiple device and platform. Uh, the UI should be seamlessly across any multiple devices like web browsers, mobile softwares, or any devices like tabs and desktop, etc. And here are some real world examples for stock market trading application. Those are Robinhood, E-Trade, TD Ameritrade, and Interactive Brokers. These are the famous stock market trading application which have the very appealing and emphasizing UI designs which makes the user easy to use it, and these are the most used UI most using stock market application because of its UI design. And next we could conclude that there are so many challenges in during the process of creating the UI design stock for stock market trading application. By focusing on these challenges and by clearing all those challenges, UI design for a stock market trading application is very useful to create a best user experience and make it simplicity, clarity, and a great functionality for the users. Uh, is there any question? And I'm open up for the question, or you can mail me at my mail ID. Thank you. That's all my time, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Prathibimba. Again, no issues with your presentation. It was thoroughly delivered. I like the designs that you had chosen for the PPT. Everything was done quite well. Manushri, will you be done within 15 minutes? I don't think she is in the meet. Prathibimba
Sir,
and
I'm present, sir.
oh, okay. Will you be done within 15 minutes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Great. You can present your screen. Prathibimba and Nivedita, you guys are done with your presentation, so you can leave. Manushri, you can start.
Yes, sir. Please just give me a minute. I'll share my screen and I'll on my video. So is my audio and video clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Yes, sir. So good evening, everyone. I'm Manushri. I'm data engineer intern at Hackveda. So my task was to perform a crop distribution monitoring tutorial. So it's basically about implementation of image segmentation algorithm. So throughout the session, we'll be discussing about the introduction, that is basically what image segmentation algorithm is all about, and then followed by the various image segmentation techniques, and then about the satellite imagery, the picture which is derived from satellite imagery and what my task was all about, and then followed by monitoring crop distribution, followed by a quick demonstration and with a short summary recap. So now let's get into the session. I hope our image is here placed in front of you. So can any of you guess what this image would be if I rearrange it and what this image would form?
So please can you guess what this image would form if I rearrange it?
Smiley, of course.
Yes. So smiley. How you were able to say that it was a smiley? So what you would have basically done is you would have just analyzed each and every part of this image, each and every part, so that you would be able to analyze what this picture would be forming and what this picture is all about, right? So this is basically what image segmentation, and this is a short, simple explanation for image segmentation. So basically, we'll be analyzing an image by each and every part of it, as what we have done in the smile image, what we have done. So this is what image segmentation is all about. We'll be segmenting the image into different tiny pieces, and we'll be analyzing them, what the inference or the analyzation or the insight which we are deriving from that particular image. So this image segmentation has various techniques, and I'm gonna discuss about the 8 main techniques which we will be following. So the first one is threshold image segmentation. So at the threshold image segmentation, what we'll be doing is we'll be fixing a threshold value, and based on the threshold value, the picture will be converted into a binary image. What binary image is? It will be converted into a black and white image, so that it focuses on only the particular image. So if you look at this particular image, I hope my laser pointer is visible. So if you look at this particular image, here we are going to focus on this particular person. So what we are doing here is a threshold image segmentation technique. We'll be fixing a threshold value, and this, because of this threshold value, our image will be converted into a binary, that is black and white. So because of this black and white image, we'll be focusing on this particular person alone. So this is what basically threshold image segmentation means. So it is of two types: global thresholding and adaptive thresholding. In global thresholding, it's a threshold value which is followed throughout the entire globe. And whereas adaptive thresholding is based on the image, we individually change the threshold value. That's why it's termed as global and adaptive threshold. Under edge-based segmentation, edge-based, as the name says, it will convert the picture based on its edges. So here, this is the real picture, and after doing edge-based segmentation, it will be occurring as this. So based on the edges of the picture, it has been distinguished. And then followed by region-based segmentation. Now, what this region-based segmentation does is, it will be grouping the similar organs or the similar parts together and the dissimilar parts together. So in order to show a differentiation, this is region-based segmentation, and this is generally done in the MRI scans or in the mostly in the medical fields, what we do. And watershed segmentation. Under watershed segmentation, as the name says, the whole image will be considered as a waterproof or water shelf, where high density images, high intensity of colors are given to the images which are bulged. So here, if you look at this particular image, the pebbles here are the ones which are bulged or which are in the form of valleys, which are mounted. So high intensity of colors are given to those pebbles here, if you see. So this is what watershed segmentation actually means. Followed by, we have graph-based segmentation. We'll be segmenting the whole image into a graph, so that the machine learning algorithm will be able to understand or analyze the image, what it is. And then followed by superpixel segmentation. Now, what this superpixel segmentation is, it classifies the image as it is, so that each and every segment of this image will be able to describe what the whole image it is about. So this superpixel segmentation is the one which we have used in our task. So let me explain in detail about it in the coming slide. And then it is contour-based segmentation. In contour-based segmentation, a snake model-like structure will be formed, and it will just cover up the endings as it is shown here in the image in order to shape and in order to understand what the particular image is shaped. It's based on the contour basically, and then based on the convolutional neural network, the image segmentation will be done. So now let's get into the main task which was given to me. Satellite imaginary. So before getting into the main task, satellite imaginary is a really very important term. Only if we understand that, we will be able to understand the further steps in the task. So satellite imaginary is nothing but it's the images which are being sent to us from the satellite. So it's basically the satellite images, the images which are captured by the satellite. So this is known as satellite imagery, and we use this satellite imagery in many fields, like in order to check whether there is a weather condition or not, what's the weather condition, or in order to check whether there is an occurrence of earthquake or not, or even in the distribution of land, we use the satellite imagery. Now, how this image segmentation and satellite imagery get connected is, now the satellite images are basically can be analyzed by the machines. So these machine learning algorithms take these image segmentation. So as I showed there in the previous image, the smiley image, since we all are humans, we use our sixth sense brain in order to analyze what the image is going to be. But machines are not like that. They need more understanding, need more trials of algorithm in order to understand what the image is about. So in order to understand the images captured by the satellite, we use this image segmentations. I hope it is clear. Now, using the satellite images, my task was to perform a monitoring crop distribution. Monitoring crop distribution is nothing but with the help of the satellite images, I needed to monitor the crop distributed in a particular land. So this is my task was all about. That is, a land will be given to me, and because with the help of the satellite images, we need to observe, is there everything correctly distributed, or if there is any movement which is abnormal in the land given, or if there anyone who has interrupted into the land or cut the trees, or is there any abnormal activities. So in order to monitor them with the help of the satellite image, I need to analyze and gain insight through the image segmentation. So this is what my task is about. Now let me show the demo what I've done it practically. So I hope my Google Colab screen is visible. So this is the satellite imagery of a land distributed with crops as being provided to me from Aquila. So what I'm doing with this images, I'll be uploading it here. In the Google Colab. So usually these images, since it's a satellite image, it will be saved in the extension of TIFF. So it indicates that it's a image satellite. So it gets some time to get uploaded here. Yes, it got uploaded. And now, first, what I'm doing here is I'm installing the Rastario scikit image. So what this Rastario does is, Rastario is nothing but it's a library in Python, which is basically used for image segmentation, especially when we are working with the satellite images. So Rastario library is used for analyzing the satellite images, and scikit image is a package which is mainly used for analyzing the image processing and all those works. And the reason why we are choosing Python for analyzation work is it's really very useful and it's very simple to understand, and also it contains a lot of inbuilt libraries like raster and scikit-image, which lessens the burden of a data engineer, and that's why we are taking Python. So yes, the installation of raster and scikit-image is done. And here at this part, what we are basically doing is we are importing the raster which we have installed there, and the NumPy also. So raster.plot and raster.features are nothing but it's the graphing facilities that are available in Rasterio. In order to show the graph, we are importing these packages, and NumPy, in order to perform certain numerical operations, we are importing it, followed by the SLIC. So sky image segmentation. So as a first step, what we are doing is we are reading the image. So here we are reading the image as a first part, which was given to us. The image is basically this one. I hope my image window is visible.
You'll have to share your entire screen because I can only see the Chrome window.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
So this is the image. So what we'll be doing as a first step is we'll be reading the image. So this is the satellite image which was given to us. So after reading the image here at the first step, and the next step, what we're doing is we are converting the 3D into a 2D array. So that's why we are reshaping it into image.shape of 0, -1. Why we are reshaping is, since if it is in the 3D, three-dimensional image, we will not be able to analyze it. So in order to analyze it properly, we are converting it into a 2D image. And after reading and after reshaping it, we are slicing it into segments. Here I'm slicing it into 100 segments. So the particular image which I've shown is sliced down into 100 segments. And the area of each of those segments is calculated here. And after calculating the area, we'll be calculating the area into hectares. So the formula for calculating the area into hectares is divided by the area divided by 10,000. So the pixel size meters is nothing but the area is basically given in forms of pixel. So I'm dividing it into 10,000. And yes, I have got the value and it is saved in the crop type areas. So this is the output which I've got. So it's divided into 100 segments. So all these 100 segments, and each of those segments area, I'm calculating it 101.88 hectares, 101.88 hectares, and so on. So basically I've done that. And after doing that, I wanted to show a visual representation of how it looks like. So here's the same part of code, but here, in order to understand and in order to make it clear, I divided the same thing into 10 segments. And here only the 10 segments which I've divided, and the 10 segments area has been given. And also I have plotted it visually, that is, it's the crop type. So there are basically 10 crop types, that is 10 segments. And the area of each segment has been given. Since each area is of 1018.57, since there is very decimal differences, we are not able to see here. But each 10 segments are approximately equally divided, which means that the image analyzation will be done based on each of the segments. And even if there's a slight movement or slight difference seen in the images which is sent from the satellite will be able to know that there's any abnormal activity happening in the area through this machine learning algorithms. I hope my demonstration was clear. Now let's get back into the PPT. Now let's get a quick recap of what we have seen throughout this. Image segmentation, we have seen what image segmentation by providing a simple example of the smiley face, then followed by the various techniques on where we can just analyze the image segmentation using various techniques like the contour based, the pixel based, and etc. And followed by the satellite imagery. So we got in-depth knowledge of what satellite imagery is, and then followed by a small demonstration of the prototype. So using this analytics labs, I learned what image segmentation is about, and also Geeks for Geeks is one of the very famous website for machine learning algorithms. So it would be very easy if you refer this link, followed by Wikipedia and Analytics Vidya. So if you have any questions, you can ask me. If you have any further queries, you can reach me out through my mail ID and LinkedIn. Thank you.
Manushri, to me, it did seem like you did your research very well with this. It wasn't, it did not feel like you were actually reading out from a script. It felt like you actually worked on it properly, and you were, you grasped the concepts very well on your own, which I respect. There was no problem with the designs of the presentation, the way you portrayed the content as well. Even the demonstration was done perfectly fine. That is pretty much it. I do not have any other questions for you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. I don't think there is anybody else for today's meet. So Manushri, you can leave and we'll end the meeting for today.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.